Hello there, PekoponTAS here, and one of my favorite guilty pleasures on YouTube is watching really poorly made handheld video game reviews. They're just all funny. It's just like, these are the shoulder buttons, and yeah, it's pretty good. So I figured, hey, I'll make my own and watch my own crappy handheld video review thing. So I'm going to talk about a system that not a lot of people talk about too much. It's called the Game Boy Micro, and I just so happen to have it right over here. See it? It's a Game Boy Advance. It's a micro. Very small, very sleek, very cool. So this thing was released in 2005, and it was released after the original DS, not even a year after that. So a lot of people thought, what's the point of playing this thing? I mean, it can't play DS games, it can't play Game Boy Color games either. Why don't I just play it on my SP or my DS? So yeah, this thing didn't sell too well. If you look it up, it sold about 2.5 million. And I know it sounds like a lot, but it's not really. But it's a shame because this is a really good Game Boy Advance player. I'd say it's probably the best Game Boy Advance player. So yeah, seems to be something I love to say. I don't know really where to start. I guess I should start with the screen brightness. The screen quality on this thing is really nice. It's way better than the Game Boy Advance SP. And I know I can't really show it on the camera because it's not too easy to do. Actually, the other Game Boy Micro I have here has a cartridge in it, so I'll try and show you that. This is one of my favorite parts of any of these videos, though, trying to get the thing to focus on the Game Boy Micro. Yeah, it looks very pretty. And yes, I'm a nerd, I'm playing this game. But this is my first time playing Battle Network series, so yeah. It's not a big thing. Anyway, so yeah, it looks very pretty. And the Game Boy Advance SP doesn't look anywhere near as good. But it's actually kind of funny. See, I just happen to have it right here as well. I have the red one. Yeah, this doesn't have as nice quality, but a funny thing about it is the Game Boy Micro's screen was so much better that Nintendo actually relaunched this thing and put the screen technology from this into this. So it's like they realized, oh, this thing's stupid, so let's take this and put it in this. So yeah, as I mentioned before, it cannot play Game Boy Color games or Game Boy games. Looney Tunes, one of my favorites. See, stick it in there, doesn't work. But and like this is something so many people complain about. I don't think it's a big deal. I think one of the problems with it is look at how far it juts out. I mean, if you were to play it like this, you'd constantly hit your. I mean, first of all, it'd be extremely uncomfortable, but you'd also constantly be hitting the cartridge and freezing it. So I think that might be one of the reasons why they didn't put that functionality in there. Now, one functionality thing that does suck is the extension port is different from the other Game Boy Advances. So you can see it right here. See it? Different? Looks different? See it? Yes, you do. So you had to purchase special link cables and other accessories on Nintendo's website, and that wasn't fun. I didn't get any of them though because couldn't order online and all that. And as you can see, two different colors. It launched with these colors, and then later there was a Famicom anniversary thing. It looks okay, I guess. But these are nice, and as you can see, it's got this cool fiery thing. But if I get this tool over here, I can do something magical. Ooh, remove stuff. Then, as you can see, you put a different one on. So yeah, it's kind of cool customization. They were obviously going for this cell phone crowd with this thing. It looks very sleek, very cool. Faceplates. It's small, it's cute. So yeah, I don't want this faceplate, so I'll just put on the other one again. Yeah, never play it without the faceplates because these screens are so vulnerable when the faceplate's not on it. Come on, there we go. Alright, so something kind of weird about it, at least it has a headphone jack. I mean, look at this thing. No headphone jack. What the heck? How did they mess that up? But this thing has a headphone jack. But the speaker is kind of weird. There's only like one. It's on one side, so it's not that very good audio quality. but you put the headphones in and it's perfect. Now, one thing I've watched a bunch of Game Boy Micro reviews, and nobody's really mentioned this, but they should, is the buttons are really nice. I say the D-pad is one of the best ever. But the big thing is these shoulder buttons. Hear how they click? Hear that? Hear that? I'm not looking at the camera, so it looks weird. Those clicky shoulder buttons are very important because the Game Boy Advance has so many games that are just focused on the shoulder buttons, like, you know, Drill Dozer, one of my favorite games ever. So you depend on the shoulder buttons, and like the shoulder buttons on this are just crap. They're horrible. It's like sometimes they don't even register when I play Drill Dozer. Terrible. This one isn't much better either. And DS, I don't have it on the table here. The DS and DS Lite, they're okay, but this is the best shoulder buttons probably on any handheld, and they're great. And that is one of the big reasons why I like this Game Boy as a Game Boy Advance player, as one of the best. Because those shoulder buttons are so important. Now, as I was saying before, you can't play these on it. But I have all this stuff ready. It's like, okay, you can play it on this. You can play Game Boy games on this. You can play Game Boy games on this. You can play them on this. Or this. Or even this if you want to. And you can play it on this too. Sure, you can't play Game Boy Colors on some of those, but that's like 7 other systems. It's not a big deal that you can't play these on it. I mean, get over it. So, yeah, and it also comes with these nice little pouches. Sort of put it in there. Very nice, sleek, very cool. Put your doubloons in there. Not a whole lot else I wanted to say about this thing. I mean, there's probably more I should have said, but I can't remember because this is all on the spot and one take. But actually, one other thing I wanted to say is that motion cartridges, like WarioWare Twisted and Yoshi Topsy Turvy, they work great in the Micro. They're like beautiful. And there's an airplane going overhead, so if you hear an airplane, that's what it is. Yeah, the motion cartridges, definitely want to play them in this thing because it's very good, very responsive. Like, when you're trying to play motion on this thing, it's like, oh, turn it upside down, oh, now it's in the way, it's like, ah, I can't figure this thing out, error, stupid thing. Yeah, so that thing's not good to play WarioWare Twisted on. And if you're gonna play Drill Dozer, play it on this. For the love of God, play it on this. You cannot play this on any other system. The Micro is perfect because of those shoulder buttons. And DK King of Swing, play it on this. Just so many games center around the shoulder buttons on this system. So yeah. Oh, and I don't have the thing out right now, but I can just go get it real quick. Okay, Game Boy Micro. It's pretty expensive online now. But if you go to EB Games and ask, you can sometimes find them. This one I got just yesterday at an EB Games. I just randomly asked. Look how much it cost me. Look how much it cost me. $9.99 for a Game Boy Micro. It came with all the inserts. It came with the pouch, the little tool. It came with just about everything. So yeah, if you can get this for this cheap, you just have to go to the stores and ask. I mean, there's a risk of you getting laughed at, but it's worth it if you can get it for 10 instead of 100. Or if you want that Mother 3 Deluxe box set, it's like 300. Whew, running out of breath. So yeah, overall, great system. Definitely buy one of these if you can. Sure, it can't play DS or Game Boy Color, but really it's not a big deal. If you're a big Game Boy Advance player, you want one of these. I say buy it. That's it. Later.